I think we're recording.
We are recording. I believe we're recording. Sweaty balls.
Sweaty.
Welcome to episode 3 of Boot Camp Stories. And as promised, I have tracked down Zachary Welch.
Hey, folks.
And let me tell you something. Zach is an authentic New Yorker, which means...
What are you talking about?
It means that he says stuff like that, and he tells an excellent story, like Michael Rappaport type stuff.
Wow, that's good company. Thank
He
you.
is. He's really grown on me.
He's quite a storyteller.
He's hysterical on the Big Three. Do you watch the Big Three?
I do.
He is hysterical on there.
He's quite an entertaining person to listen to. I do have to say that I'm not completely familiar with him, other than like weird movies I've caught on Netflix.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's that guy
and,
again.
And the old what he was in Spike. What was Do the Right Thing? His first film. Was it Do the Right Thing?
Oh my god!
I know he was in what was the one about track and field where he ended up shooting up the college at the end. Higher Learning.
Oh yeah, that's
Higher
right.
Learning.
He was in Higher
He was
Learning.
Remy. He was Remy.
Oh my god! And now I have a list that I have to go rewatch. Michael Rappaport's support group. Like,
yeah, absolutely. He's really carved out a nice career.
Start a newsletter. And
Absolutely.
just, like, send it to people.
Absolutely. So
Gotten your Michael Rappaport today.
So here we are, episode 3 of Boot Camp Stories. And before we get started, this has nothing to do with Boot Camp Stories. I stopped at an establishment to eat before I got here, and
It's gonna be good.
We were, and I was eating. And when you're eating in a restaurant, you can't help but to. I don't like to call it eavesdrop. I like to call it ear hustle.
Okay.
Ear hustling.
All right. People listening.
And you hear things. And this girl was sitting with her mother, and she was reading this text message from her boss. Okay. And he was like, and she was saying, the boss had sent the text to something to the effect of this: "Nice start to the pay week. Nice start to the pay week. Negative 279 points." It's like. What could she possibly have done?
Are we living in like feudal Japan? Like you didn't say hello to the boss today.
What?
Negative 500 points.
Like what is the point system where she ends up on an odd number?
279.
Negative 279. Negative.
She is not going to be a good tribute.
I was blown away, but I'm like, what could she seemed like a nice person, but you know, people mess up at work, you know. I mean,
negative 200. Did you stab somebody?
But not only that, what is this grading system where he says, and remember the text said, "Nice start to the pay cycle."
So they might be used to this out of her. She might just be horrible. You didn't spill coffee on anyone today. Good start.
Yeah, well,
you still didn't do your job though.
I just wanted to, it has nothing to do with Boot Camp Stories.
No one's getting paid at this company.
I don't know if it's a demerit or she has to do push-ups.
A demerit, Sean?
I don't know.
You didn't cross your eyes on the watch bill. You get negative 279 points. You're gonna do the balls to 4.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
So, all right, God. Yeah. I just wanted to start off just by saying I heard that. I've never heard anything like that before.
Did the mom or whoever she was with respond?
She said nothing, which tells me
they know this already.
This person must F up on the regular.
Yeah, I can. So. I get that feeling. I agree. I concur.
So, Boot Camp Stories. You were in the United States Navy.
I was.
When did you join?
I enlisted in the Navy in September of 2010. In the short of it, I couldn't leave right away, so I was what they called the DEP program.
Okay, yeah, I joined DEP. And for those of you who don't know, DEP is the Delayed Entry Program. Yeah. It's when you agree to go in, but you don't leave right away. A lot of people leave right away. And when you're in DEP program, if you got something going on, like I wanted to finish my semester of college because I thought that mattered at the time. So they let me go in after I was done in the summertime rather than leaving right then and there when I agreed to go.
Right. I mean, and that was how it worked out for us. I went to the recruiter with my dad.
All right.
My dad's was a former recon Marine. He was a drill sergeant. So he had some background. And between him and my mother, who was a ballerina turned housewife, he was going. He was the smart choice.
Right.
He was getting picked first.
Right.
Yeah. Put those slippers away.
You're going to Ninja Warrior, you take your mother.
Right. Yeah. At that point. Yeah. That's how that's going to work. So in all honesty, like I knew that there were a couple things. I have that kind of, and you can probably hear this across the microphone, but I have a type A personality.
Okay.
I'm not one of those people that walks into a room and stands
Right.
in the back.
Exactly. Right.
I'm not the wallflower-ish kind.
Right.
You know, to say, but, there was a lot more that went into it. I have a very outgoing personality. We've covered that. Very effervescent. I liked theater in high school. I liked drawing. I went to an arts-heavy high school. That kind of field, the arts, was something that I wanted to involve myself in.
Right.
And the only thing was mass communication specialist, which is the MOS or rate, as they call it in the Navy, that I chose because there was a lot of other people that you had mentioned that would go, what's the next bus out of here?
Exactly.
What is that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to shovel crap.
Right.
All right. Cool.
Exactly.
Next week? Cool. Great. Where am
Right.
I going? Doesn't matter. Just get me out of here. And a lot of that like played a role, but when I found out, you take the test and they go, oh, you scored this much. Oh, cool. You want to try again? You get a 90. We can get you to be a nuke, and you can do nuclear powered stuff for like $30,000 extra with a bonus. And no, I don't play World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
It's not something I want to do.
And no nuke is happy. And
no, that's not my experience.
Yeah, nukes are about as happy as bosun's mates, and so bosun's mates are able to have children at some point. So you chose you got to be an MC,
yes.
which is kind of like what I was. I was a journalist which ended up becoming an MC once they merged a bunch of rates. So
that's right.
Zach and I kind of are in the same family when it came to work in the Navy. So
we rep the same gang.
Yeah, same gang. So tell me about your boot camp story. You were in boot camp with. I vaguely remember this story. This guy was a malingerer, right?
So, I'm going to paint a picture.
Okay, go ahead. It's your show right now.
So, this is my time. So, myself, along with 37 other people. The first 30 days of boot camp, you're not sleeping. You know this. And you start to see the kinds of people that you want to align, because it's fight or flight at that point.
Exactly.
You just want to survive.
You just want to get it done.
Is this dude going to snitch on me?
Yep.
Is this dude going to hold up during push-ups?
Yes.
When we get, the eventual beating physically that we're going to get by exercise.
Right.
I want to know this dude's not going to just quit.
Right.
So you start making small talk. So this dude wasn't talking to anyone. Mm-hmm. He was just sitting with a group of people, but not really communicating, wasn't taking control of the floor, wasn't. All right, fine. So a couple weeks go by, and I'm saying 2. Boot camp is 8 weeks. So 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, you're starting to gel. You're starting to do things together as a group. You're starting to overcome
things
obstacles.
are starting to get easier.
Yes, everyone's passing their tests, so they get a flag that they get to carry around and go, oh, we did it. And then there's the physical fitness when everyone did the mile run and no one passed out, even though that's another story. We had a dude pass out. So anyway, we're 2 weeks in. This kid has solidified himself as a loner. He's a loner. And just to paint a picture, if any of you are familiar with reggae rock, he kind of looks like Damian Marley.
Oh,
just
wow.
A little darker. Just a
Really?
little darker skin tone wise, but like a dead ringer.
Really?
Facially. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He was like 26, 27.
Oh, so he was older.
He was an older dude.
Oh, okay.
Compared to everybody else. I mean, I joined, I was 25.
Right.
But most of these kids are 18. They don't know nothing. It's the first job they can't get fired from.
Right.
All right. So he's already older. So we're establishing this dude should already be an adult. And get his proverbial SHIT together. One day, we had eventually done something wrong. Every day you do something wrong. Either one of you is singled out.
Yes.
Which then it's the logic of the brainwash goes, if one did it, you're all going to pay for it because you're a team. Mm-hmm. Well, that logic gets broken when you all do it, or one insignificant thing happens and then everyone has to pay for it, but there's no crime that you're being paid for.
Exactly.
It's just merciless.
Exactly. You're just getting beaten. And
this is how it is.
And and you'll be the one to back me up on this. I don't know about you. Rappers they act like they coined the term "make it rain." Making it rain.
Oh yeah.
The first time I heard "make it rain" was in boot camp, and when I hear it today, I get terrified. Even the rap songs, like
they played it when we were getting beat.
Oh,
like
see-
they would play it.
see, so
they
it
would
was-
go back in the Fishbowl, turn it on, and be like, "Oh,
yeah.
here we
So
go."
there wasn't even any songs. I went through in 2000.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
wasn't even a thing yet in
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yeah.
So making it rain in boot camp means they basically close all the doors and windows and they exercise the shit out of you
Yeah.
until the
Yeah.
walls start sweating.
Yeah, it's true.
And
True. You see your reflection in the sweat.
and the sweat starts falling from the ceiling. That's what making it rain means to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's what it means to me now.
yeah, and rappers made the shit cool.
Make
but
it rain.
Yeah,
No.
that's what making it rain means to me.
Wheezy, if you knew, you would not say that. You just wouldn't.
Right.
You wouldn't.
So
In that sense, this is what's happening. I don't remember why. I don't remember how. And I don't know what we were doing or how we did it wrong, but something bad happened, and we're getting exercised. Now, for the listeners, when you were getting quote-unquote beat, which was you were being PT'd,
right.
the drill instructors, or in the Navy, the
RDC.
RDCs, recruit division commanders,
Right.
the guys that would lead your team to victory, as AKA you're graduating, and they would have cards. So they had a black card, and it was this little like laminated, like looked like a library card, and they pull it out of their like chest pocket and look at it every now and then, and they'd be like, "All right, you knew you were getting beat, but it was
Right.
like what card was being pulled out?"
Exactly.
Now, the white card was the normal card. Black card was if you really screwed up really bad. And the red card was legend. I had never seen one. But this was talked about throughout other divisions when they would get together
Right.
in group activities. Oh, they got beat yesterday. Yeah, they pulled out a red card. And,
Right.
Sent them to an ice cream social or a pizza party. And I was
Right.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I wish I got ice cream.
Right,
now.
exactly.
Ice cream. Who's having a pizza party?
Ice cream would have been wonderful in boot camp.
And why was I not invited? I don't understand. Please tell me next time. Come to my division and tell me we're having a pizza party. But then you realize those are just, what do they call them? Surnames.
Yeah.
Or pen names
Yeah.
for
How bad they were
how
gonna
bad-
how
yeah.
bad they were gonna beat you.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
Pizza party is red alert. Like,
Yeah.
So that's what this red card represented, and I had never seen it. So like he pulls out. So he's like, "Everyone, get on the tow line." And the tow line, for those that don't know, is just a black line that ran around the room for what I think was the sole purpose of making you stand at attention in order.
Right.
So we're all getting on the tow line, and we're all being exercised, and we were doing squats. And I don't remember his name. And he goes, "I'm done."
The guy in the guy in boot camp with
The
you.
guy.
He said he was done.
We're all doing exercises together.
Okay, so you guys are getting beat, and this guy who looks like Rohan Marley.
Damian Marley.
Damian Marley.
David Marley.
Okay,
yeah.
so I know Rohan Marley.
Okay. All right.
I met
Damian
him.
Marley is the. Oh, you mean like you know him personally?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I know. That's why.
Really?
Yeah, I met him. So I used to shoot a lot of video for the Ravens.
Okay.
And Rohan Marley played football at University of Miami with Ray Lewis. They were roommates. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And one time I got the chance to shoot kind of like a day in the life of Ray Lewis's trainer.
Okay.
And so we met at Ray Lewis's. I got driven out to his mansion in this secret vehicle. And
Wait. When you say secret,
well, it wasn't
vehicle,
secret big. It was a night. I had to leave my vehicle in another location and get into.
It's like some James Bond
Yeah.
stuff.
So and I rode out with the guy with the trainer. He
They
had a
give
nice
you like a note that said it will self-destruct in like 5 seconds.
he had this nice 745. So we get to the house. Rohan gets in the back, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Rohan Marley, and this, that, and the other. So we're sitting next. I'm in the middle because I make the least money of everybody who was in the back seat. So I got to sit in the middle.
You're gonna ride middle now,
Right. And
What's your bank account look
yeah.
like?
And we're riding down. It's me. It's his one of his assistants.
Who, Ray Lewis is?
No, the trainer. One of his assistants.
Oh, okay.
And Rohan's on the other side. And the car 745s are big in the inside.
Yeah.
But Rohan's a linebacker. I'm a big guy. So I got tired of holding my leg in one place. So I caught a cramp in my leg in the back of this car. And Rohan thought it was the most funny. He thought it was the most hilarious thing ever and we just kind of hit it off.
Should just Charlie horsed him right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we talked for a little while after. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway,
that's quite happenstance.
Yeah,
like, this friendship with.
But anyway,
I was in a car with a football player.
Yeah,
my leg cramped up, and we became best friends.
Yeah. So anyway, get back to what you were saying.
So not Rohan Marley,
Ziggy,
not Ziggy. So you can tell in his face that he's not wanting to do this anymore.
Right.
And then we're just waiting now, because anytime this kind of situation would happen, where someone either says no, or someone just gives up, or quits, or really screws up, it becomes a show, because this is all you have.
Right.
It's like jail.
Right.
There's no, what happened today? Oh, they got rice pudding. It's going to be a big day today. Like, those kind of things become important because you're around the same group of people, doing the same activities in the same place every day, hearing the same thing, saying the same thing. So it becomes boring. So any little thing. So, like, we can tell now, and I'm, like, getting excited. Like, oh, shit.
Right.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good. So, like, now it's every man for themselves. And he just goes, and he like kind of like, you can't see my face, but like I'm kind of making like face, like I don't want to do this anymore. And he's like, he doesn't have his arms over his chest, but like he's just standing there in defiance with this defiance posture. Just I don't want to do this.
Very bold, by the way.
Very bold, especially when everyone can see you doing that.
And you're standing in front of a man that's there to break you.
Yes.
His
job is to make you feel like you don't deserve to be in existence.
Yeah.
who once told me, one of them once told me, Welch, I bet you took the short bus to school. And I responded, not thinking, no, Chief, I lived across the street from school. I then was made to like bear crawl around the barracks for like whoever remembers the amount of time. In any case, he stops and he's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And Chief goes, his name was Chief Batts, Andre Batts, wonderful dude, was a newly minted chief. He was a chief select.
Oh, wow.
And we were the first division that he was getting to push.
So he had something to prove.
And
he
this
had something
man
to prove.
Was built like Mike Tyson, except he wasn't as short. He was a little taller, but he was just stocky, like a refrigerator with a head.
Right. Okay.
and he was like a gorilla in uniform. Like that man was just big. Nothing fit him. And I think he did that on purpose as like a domineering tactic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
To like make he was popping out of his like his forearms are bulging. Like, can I have the schmedium? I'll get it. I'll pay extra if I could just have the schmedium. I need to make these 19-year-olds.
There is no smaller shirt.
Yeah.
I checked.
This is as small as it goes.
So Chief Batts is in front of this guy now. Chief Select Batts,
who's would participate in doing the PT. Like, what kind of nut job do you have to be to make people hurt and do it yourself? You're terrible.
Right.
And then if anyone did anything, he would tell them, you're an idiot, and keep go jumping jacks, go. And then you just do them. So he's doing these exercises. So he stops and he's like, what? He goes, I don't think I heard you. And then he walks up to him. I didn't tell you, mother, to keep going. So we're like, oh, all right, 1, 2, 3, and we're yelling as we're doing it. Numbers out, because that's what he required us to do.
Yeah.
He called us his little poodles, and he wanted to hear the chains dangle. And by chains, I mean dog tags.
Dog tags, right.
So you'd say, I want my show dogs to jingle jangle. And we would just jump up and down and do things. And if we weren't making them jingle jangle, it just got worse. So we're going back to doing, the routine. And you can see that he's talking to him up close so that nobody can hear. He brings him into what we call the Fishbowl or the Shark Tank. It took him into that office, took him into the Fishbowl, and all three of them are yelling.
All three?
Just
you had all three RDCs on post at once?
All the time.
Really?
Our division was known as we were a garbage bag division, and our brother div, or the division that was directly across the hall from us,
right,
was known as our brother div. They were an honor division.
Oh, wow.
They got everything right the first time.
So they made you guys look really bad.
So we were really garbage.
Oh, wow.
Really
you guys
garbage.
Are like Stripes.
Dog garbage.
Like Stripes.
Yeah. More like Down Periscope.
Down Periscope.
Or McHale's Navy.
Down Periscope is why Carlson joined the Navy.
I I mean, I don't think they made that movie as a recruiting tool. But,
it worked for him.
But I mean, there we go. It's a perfect real world example that it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're lucky to have had him for the time they had him. He's a very talented videographer.
Yeah.
Are you getting him on here? You should get him on.
He said he doesn't remember boot camp. It was a blur. And I believe him.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I remember certain things, and that's why we're talking about it.
So they're all yelling at him in this fishbowl, and then all of a sudden he's sent back to the group, and he walks past everyone, goes right for his rack, and just lays down, and he's just there.
The recruit,
yes,
Marley, he went and laid in his rack.
Damien is laying in the rack. Went to Chow. When we came back from Chow, he was gone. Damien Marley was gone. He wasn't there. He
disappeared.
He was gone. So we did our learning for the evening, and then we did our shower, and then they gave out mail, and around that time, and then you get into your PT gear to go to sleep,
right,
or your blueberries,
your
sweatsuit, and you go to sleep, and then around that time, he walks back in with one of the RDCs and two other sailors.
And how many hours was this?
It's like a good 4 or 5 hours
that he was missing.
He's been gone,
which is not something that you see.
This is not normal.
And
everyone's the whole day, that 4 or 5 hour period, everyone's like, he's dead. They killed him. They beat the crap out of him.
So he comes back in.
And it's like nighttime. No one's talking to him. He doesn't change.
Better not talk to him.
It doesn't change. We all have to go what they called crap, shower, shave. Yep. So we go crap, shower, shave, get ready for bed, and then everyone gets in the rack. So he's in his rack. He's been in his rack this whole time. Hasn't changed out of his uniform. So Chief turns the lights off and he'd be like, go to sleep. And everyone in unison had been brainwashed already to go, sleep. So you'd hear that in stereo, like 22 people just screaming, sleep. And like, F you, and then slam the door. And every night it was the same thing. Go to sleep, you piece of garbage. And sleep. And then he'd be like, yeah, die. And leave. So that happened, right? Lights go off. And usually people would get out of the racks. They go hang out in the bathroom or the head, as it was called.
Right.
And go chill in there because that was the only place where lights were on. And you go and you talk about, I can't wait to go. I'm going to do this. I can't wait to see my girlfriend. I can't wait to. Right? And people would write letters in the dark like, we're going to. All right. So everyone goes about doing that. And then you hear. And you're like, what the hell? What's going on? And then, you'd either fall back to sleep or continue talking to your friend or whatever. And then all of a sudden, and you're like, what is happening? And then so you lean out of your rack and you're looking around who's doing that? And there he was, just laying there. And you're like, so then you'd hear, so that's basically the audible noise that's happening. And then you'd hear, you'd hear people sleeping, and then you'd hear, shut up, because you couldn't really talk at a loud volume.
You can't be too loud. You're right.
And you're like, you're going to get us in trouble. Shut up. And he'd be like, and it would get louder and louder and more intense. And you're sitting there and you're like, shut up. And then it stopped. And you were like, oh, thank God. Yo, so anyway. And then he started singing these Rastafarian hymns.
What?
But because it was unintelligible. You could not determine what he was saying. But it was a lot of vowels and so think about when you're in church or you're in synagogue and people are singing and you look over at somebody and they don't know the words.
Right.
And they're just amen.
Right.
And that's just how it ends. And you're like, all right, as long as I got the amen in there, I'm good. Or the hallelujah at the end, I'm okay.
Oh my gosh.
But so you could discern John. I can't do it right. I'm not doing it justice. But it'd be and they'd be like, shut up. John. And you're like, so later on, the only reason I know, and I could beyond a shadow of a doubt, because he had a problem earlier in boot camp where he didn't want to cut his dreads because he claimed religious affiliation.
Okay.
It's part of his religion.
So he came into boot camp wanting to be a problem. He came in there.
He was like, like, how do you, we're all lined up, nut to butt. Mm-hmm. We're marching over to get our hair cut.
Right.
They yelled at us multiple times the week before. Next week you're getting your hair cut, you piece of garbage.
Right.
Today you're getting your hair cut, you piece of garbage. You know it's coming.
You know it's coming. That's the one thing I knew when I went into boot camp.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
The one
I had hair
thing,
down to my shoulder.
It's the one thing that
I get it.
It's the one thing that every movie gets right about when they shoot boot camp stuff.
That's how it is.
It's the one you're in there and you're out of there in 8 seconds.
All right.
And you're looking around and you're feeling, and it's like, damn, they didn't shape me up.
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
Like, where's my hair? Oh, they got a fucking fleet of Flobies.
Yo, it's not even like that. Like you, bro. Like the clippers were attached to like a vacuum cleaner attachment.
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know what I was thinking stuffed animal
for
some reason.
The
I don't know why.
Is
if that's not a thing, it needs to be a thing.
It's a vacuum cleaner hose that you attach.
Called a Flowbee?
That's what they called it when it was a thing in the 90s and in the late 80s, and it basically just keeps all hair off the floor.
Things you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's Flowbee. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they had those there. This guy wasn't having any of it, though. He was like, oh, no. We lined up, and we were standing there. We couldn't talk. The only thing you could do was read your little recruit handbook, this little book, this paperback they gave you that literally explained absolutely nothing.
What was that, the Blue Jacket?
That's the Blue Jackets manual.
Blue Jacket manual?
That's separate nowadays. Or when I went through, we were one of the first groups to get not only a Blue Jackets manual, but you got the recruit handbook. And that you had to like fill out. And most people didn't. They just drew dicks.
Okay.
A lot of people just drew dicks in their books. Dicks. There was no reason. I don't understand a male-only division where everyone's like, quote unquote, backed up, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Why are you all drawing veiny penises in books like off of ships? And I mean, like, the artwork was uncanny.
Yeah.
Like, you have plenty of time to work on shading. And that's what you chose with like butterfly wings and this one. If you've ever seen, what's the movie where they do the drawings with the penises, with the veiny dragon penis? Oh my God.
I know what you're talking about.
McLovin.
Yeah. Superbad.
Superbad. So it wasn't like as good as that. But people drew penises. And I'm not saying one guy drew all the penises. Like 5, 6 guys drew penises in their book. Mm-hmm. And the reason I know this, now Zach, you probably drew penises. No, I didn't. Mm-hmm. I would be like, yo, what's the answer to that? And look over and be like, that penis is shooting lasers. Why? Okay, anyway, needless to say, they take him away. He comes back. He starts singing hymns to Jah. Oh, and the reason I know it is because Jah is God in Rastafarian culture. And that was the only discernible word that I could make out. So this man is singing all night. It didn't stop. The story doesn't end with me going, oh, we fell asleep and he just got up and, we did PT in the morning. Nope. They come in the morning. They wake us up. They do the whole thing at 5, follow the lights. Like, get the hell out of bed. Do the whole thing. We all do the crap shower shave. By the time we come back, he's gone. Gone. Like, they were like, everyone but you.
Rack empty and everything?
Rack wasn't empty.
Okay.
However, his sea bag was gone. The stuff that he puts all his stuff in. So I guess they must have made him pack all his stuff, or they packed it for him because he was gone.
Right.
The RDCs were there.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone. And he must have been escorted somewhere else. But we never saw him again. Mm-hmm. And so people were kind of talking about it, and they were just like, yeah, they're sending him home. He's got to go. Maybe they moved him to a new division. Maybe they're promoting him, and he needs to go there. Like, no one knows what the hell is happening. Once again,
right.
Back to that nonsense again. And when we came back from Chow, we were headed to go do, like, drill. And before we left to go do drill, everyone has to change out of whatever thing they were in because eventually you're going to get beat, and we're going to make you sweat, and then you're going to have to put a new uniform on. So during that period of time, the RDC's got everyone together. It's like, I want y'all to gather around, everyone, pop a squat. Mm-hmm. So recruit it. We'll just Damian Marley at this point. Recruit Damian Marley is not going to be joining us anymore, and I think y'all know why. What? What are you talking about? And you'd have to be a dumbass to raise your hand and be like, Chief, I don't understand.
Right.
What do you mean? why are you lying? Like, no one's going to do that. So everyone just, like, accepted it. In my 5.5, 6 years in the Navy, never ran into him, so I don't think he's in the military.
They probably washed him right on out.
Washed him out and gave him his money back, which is 0.
Right.
See you later, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that is a good story.
I appreciate
that is a good
letting
story.
me tell it
that is a good story.
Again. I don't understand. That's the part that never made sense.
If you want to be on Boot Camp Stories and you're a veteran with a story about boot camp, you can hit me at bootcampstorytelling@gmail.com. Again, no Taliban. You guys been hitting me up. I don't want to hear your boot camp stories.
I want to talk about being a soldier of fortune. We don't want to hear that here at Boot Camp Stories.
I don't.
At gmail.com.
Yeah, you guys are hard-headed. And also, for those of you who watch, thank you for listening. Zach is the one that made the graphic.
Oh, yeah. No biggie.
Yeah, appreciate
that. My
pleasure.
pleasure, of course. I'm glad you liked it.
So we're going to keep it going. Again, bootcampstorytelling@gmail.com for your stories.
Send your stories, please.
So sincere, no Taliban. Bye.